Yeah, but see, you know what y'all was doing last night. According to Kayla, it was sanctioned, and the parents provided the alcohol.
Well, what Kayla was saying is that there are parents who did allow their children to drink.
But that's trash parenting, though.
I don't disagree with what. That's fair, but that's fair to say that they right. That's fair to say that parenting style may not be the best parenting style, but to refute what Kayla was saying is not true, because we were talking about this yesterday. The importance of foundation. Like the importance of the foundation is that you have to teach your children, like you have to be present and teach your children that this is going to happen. You're going to have to make decisions. You're not going to be able to protect your children at all times. But if the foundation is there, then, they have what they need, the tools that they need to make the right decisions, right? So me and Kayla were actually talking about this, like as people decided last night that they were going to say, oh, these parties, there was no drinking, there was no alcohol at these underage parties. It's like, no, there was. Somebody snuck something in, and it was up to you whether or not you were going to get drunk or drink it or be part of, smoking or whatnot. I even was exposed to drugs at a very, very early age in high school environments. So it was my choice either to participate or not. But because I had the foundation, I'm not going to go back to that party. I'm not going to hang out with these people. I'm not going to do those things. So I think it goes back to mistaking the home. The home is not the same. As you said, we had that foundation to say, hey, yeah, you see these things on TV social media is also different. We didn't grow up in an age where social media was so present.
That's
so
true.
Now parents have to combat what censorship of social media, how much time they're spending on a computer. Before it was dial-up. You couldn't get online without your parents knowing, because that AOL dial-up was loud and you couldn't hide it. It's like, okay, you log on. And the phone line would have been taken up and you would have got yelled at for holding up the phone line. Like, your mom trying to call and it's busy. You already knew what time it was. Now It's not the same thing. It's like they have so much more access to, and they're so impressionable. Yeah. I mean, I was actually talking about this today, like even with bullying. Bullying was something that happened at school. Now bullying can happen 24/7 because of social media. And now you're seeing an increase in children who are like 11, 10, 9 committing suicide. And it's like, what era do we live in? So it's hard to say, like, because I can imagine being a parent now. I mean, Shantae, you have a young child, and it's like, you have to put that censorship up. I have a friend who she got into her son's inbox, and the type of messages that he was having with another young girl online was like, what kind of sex talk is this? Like, holy crap! Like, how do you even know what this is? And they had to censor their Instagram account because you don't know what your children have exposure to.
Yeah, but see, you know what y'all was doing last night. According to Kayla, it was sanctioned, and the parents provided the alcohol.
Well, what Kayla was saying is that there are parents who did allow their children to drink.
But that's parenting, though.
I don't disagree with what. That's fair, but that's fair to say that they right. That's fair to say that parenting style may not be the best parenting style, but to refute what Kayla was saying is not true. There were parties you went to at which parents provided alcohol and said, as long as you stay here and drink it, I'm okay with it. So it is.
Act like it's okay, though. I mean,
I don't think she was acting like.
Well, no, that's what we were saying. It was okay. Like, what's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. For us to be at our friend's house in a safe space to have alcohol amongst young adults. I mean, 17-year-old kids.
And I have to say, I know parents who were like that. Who said, I would rather
you drink my day too. My mom was trying to back that thing up with
somewhere else.
Here, too many people talking at once. What did he say?
No, and I'm telling Hank, like, it is not uncommon to hear something like that. For me, I want you to drink it here. I'd rather you drink it here. If you want to explore something, I'd rather you explore it here with me versus exploring it outside with somebody else where they can slip something in your drink or you're going to get too drunk. And it's, I would rather you experience that type of feeling with me in a controlled environment than not. And that's not something that I haven't heard.
I have heard parents say that.
But how about not telling them to don't do it at all? You're not ready for that.
They're going to do it. They're going to do
it. I understand they're going to do it, but doesn't mean you should open the doors and say, come on in.
You should be more preaching why you shouldn't do it. These are the consequences of doing, in opposed to saying, okay, because if you kind of allow them to do it, it's kind of like you're giving an okay instead of just preaching, hey, you can't do it. I'm sorry. This is the reason why. Now, when they become adults and they end up doing it themselves, at least you did your part in trying to, I'm going to get you saying, at least you did your part in trying to, preach the, why they shouldn't do it. You shouldn't be a part of the problem. You should definitely stick to your guns on why they shouldn't do it. And I agree with that.
One of them kids has an addictive personality where they turn into a damn young drunk. It could happen.
You can't have, I think the age is there for a reason. That age limit is there for a reason. I'm sure there are scientists who put that together that said, hey, this is probably the age where,
So what do you say about in the Caribbean? My family's Caribbean. You could go buy liquor. Yeah. You could go buy liquor. You could go buy liquor at 14.
In other cultures, they drink before the age of 21 anyway. So
it's only in the United States that it's heavily regulated.
I understand, but I'm not in them cultures. I'm not part of that culture. So I'm
gonna be honest. I wasn't brought up like.
But so listen. At the end of the day, you shouldn't want to. Your child. I don't care what culture you're in. Alcohol is toxic. It's not good for your body. One thing about the culture is a known fact that it causes liver disease. It causes all these things. So you should not even want to introduce anything of toxicity on purpose to a young child, period. I don't care what culture you are.
You got to let it go, you got to let it go, baby.
I'm just saying, wine is not unhealthy. But
real fast, and it goes to Seda. But I wanted to point out, you're right. People are, I don't care what your foundation is. What I have learned in the environment that I am in, and I'm so glad I'm in it because I get to watch my kids in that environment, is that even the most strong parents, when them kids get to school, they are the impression. You said it right. Kids are impressionable. I shared this story before. I had a kid who was Muslim. I mean, geared up for a parent conference, and I have never seen that gear before at school. And when I went to look at her, and she was just like, I'm like, oh, did we change in the bathroom? Is that what we do? So these kids, you may think that they are, and this has gotten, I mean, God sees you. They don't even think God sees them.
So any other time she's a ho-ho, but all of a sudden she got right when parents was around, huh?
Listen, that social media, that influence, if that child is not strong, you have kids who are strong-willed. They have in their mind, I'm not going to go against the grain. My parents are my parents. This is my foundation. But you have those kids, no matter what the foundation is, you can teach them right. But when they get to school, twerk something.
I was that kid.
Change something.
Dang.